And we're back with our special hour-long edition of the Screen Team on today's Talk 930 KWOC. The show's being brought to you by Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, where Walmart is next door to us. Also, Fearless Social and Poplar Bluff Drywall. We've already done a slew of movies so far. We've done Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. We've also taken care of the new Sherlock Holmes film called Mr. Holmes. We've done the new Peanuts film, also Hotel Transylvania 2, and now we're moving on to a movie that just hit DVD a few weeks back. It's called Tomorrowland. It stars George Clooney, and this film is based on the actual park that's at Disney World. Right, Sabrina?
That's correct. I believe they actually initiated it in Disneyland out in California.
Oh, so it was at Disneyland first?
I think. Because Disneyland was before Disney World.
Correct. This movie is it's pretty interesting as far as the fact that it's set, I think, in present-day world, at least the majority of the plot is, but there's this alternative universe that lives in a place called Tomorrowland, which is just filled with people who are, I guess, the creative types.
Right. The
scientists,
ones with
ideas, just people like you would be there. I would still be stuck on Earth someplace, but they're on this place called Tomorrowland, and they're trying to, I guess, solve the world's problems and come up with great, just innovative ideas and stuff like that. What we're trying to do in this particular flick is you've got George Clooney's character, and you've also got Britt Robinson's character, who are, George Clooney's character was originally, in the very beginning, he was at Tomorrowland, but you find out later in the movie that he got kicked out or something, right?
Right. It starts off with him doing a documentary to tell the story of how it all went wrong.
Right.
And they go all the way back to when he was a kid, and he dreamed a dream of flying, and so he created a jetpack. And he took it to the World's Fair, where the Idea Center was, and he presented it. And there was a girl, and she liked what he said. And it just sort of went crazy from that point on. The girl hands him a pin, and he follows her into a secret chamber of It's a Small World. And next thing you know, he's flying around in the futuristic world called Tomorrowland.
Right. And then I guess later on in the film, we meet Britt Robinson's character, who's a young lady who lives with her dad, who's Tim McGraw,
Yeah,
and he plays like a rocket scientist or something like that.
Who's about to be out of a job because they're tearing down Cape Canaveral.
Right. So I guess her job is she finds out through that same girl that George Clooney found out that she's very, very special. And she finds out about the Tomorrowland place because that same girl gives her a button. And they find out later on in the film that there's some bad stuff that's going to happen to Tomorrowland. So George Clooney and Britt Robinson's character have to basically save Tomorrowland.
Right. Her name's Case.
Case? Is that her name?
Case.
I like Britt better.
Yeah.
I'll call her Britt. So, all right, that's the main, I guess, story of this particular film. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was put together nicely. I like the back and forth. It was just challenging enough to pay attention to, not get lost. But yet you never felt like you had to rewind, to go, wait, what did I miss? You don't miss anything if you're paying attention. And I like the design of Tomorrowland. I thought it was interesting how it was parallel to the current day. Like when she's holding onto the button and she's walking in this field in Tomorrowland, she walks into a wall of her house or falls down the stairs.
Yeah, that was interesting.
In real life. So, and it takes a little while for them to explain what that is.
Did they ever explain it?
Yeah, it's an advertisement.
That's what I thought. Okay. So she wasn't really in Tomorrowland.
Right.
It was just like a hologram.
She was in a hologram, yes, that changed her vision of where her surroundings were. So then she follows it out into the middle of nowhere and almost ends up drowning herself in a lake or whatever.
Right.
It's a funny thing while she is trying to figure out what is this all about. Everyone else around her is, you need to get your head out of the clouds and get your feet on the ground and quit pretending there's other worlds and quit pretending to follow the stars. And she's a dreamer.
Get your head out of Neverland and come back to reality.
Exactly. Things that I've heard all my life.
That's why you'd be perfect in Tomorrowland, man.
And yet it's real. And so the story continues. Tomorrowland is real, and you have to follow the story through and help George Clooney's character fix the mistake he made that got him kicked out.
I'm a little indifferent on this film. There was a lot of parts that I liked when you first go to Tomorrowland and you see the younger version of George Clooney's character, exploring it and stuff like that. It was fun, it was exciting, and the music that accompanied the scenes were, energetic and had a
Tomorrowland feel to it?
Yeah, Tomorrowland, but a classic kind of feel to it. And you're like, okay, I can get into this. When it gets kind of back to reality, it kind of slows down a little bit, and a lot of the scenes were a little uninteresting to me. So I don't think this film is a bad film, and I don't think it's a great film. I think it's a film that you're going to watch, and you're going to be like, okay, that was all right, but I don't know if it's a movie that you're going to want to get again and watch multiple times. What do you think?
Well, I think I could watch it again. At least one more time.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of long, isn't it?
It was about 2:10.
Yeah, it's a little over 2 hours. So
yeah.
It's a little long. It's not going to hold the attention of little ones by any means. It's not geared towards them at all.
Yeah.
But 10 and up, I think, are going to find it really interesting because it's geared towards them and about their ideas and how they look at the world, and it's black and white.
Yeah. Yeah. This movie did not do very well in the box office.
Yeah. Not
at all, man. Disney was pumping this out, and they thought they were going to make a lot of money, and they didn't. They actually lost money on this, and so I don't think there's going to be any sequels or anything to the movie Tomorrowland. But I think it's definitely worth a watch for families out there. I agree with Sabrina. I don't think little ones are going to be too interested in this, but if you've got maybe 7 to 10-year-olds, maybe they'll dig it. It's called Tomorrowland, and it stars George Clooney. We're going to switch things up just a little bit, and we're going from the fantasy realm into the horror realm, and we're going to review M. Night Shyamalan's movie, The Visit. That's coming your way next on Today's Talk, 930 KWOC.